Wow, what an absolutely amazing spot this is. Hello, welcome to another episode out here. Not quite yet under the stars, but we're going to be tonight. So I'm here at this reservoir. It's blowing an absolute gale. There's wind galore, but the forecast says that it's going to drop as the night progresses. It's been raining, it's been quite cloudy, but now it's starting to clear up. Can't wait. I'm actually spending the whole night here, so I'm going to be shooting all night. I might get a little bit of sleep, but probably not much. But anyway, I'm just going to have a look around. I love this old dead tree you can see in the background here, and that is going to be the star of the show tonight. I've got a few ideas for that old tree, facing in the perfect direction. So I'll just keep looking around and I'll let you guys know what I'm going to do. So I'm taking a little bit of refuge back here, sheltering from the wind, to be honest. Oh, it's absolutely blowing a gale out there. But I've never been to this spot, and I'm so excited to shoot because it's a beautiful wide open space, and there's two of these gorgeous dead trees down by the water. I mean, there's plenty of dead trees further inside the water, all through this lake, but having these two close to the shore and exposed like they are with nothing around them means I can isolate them against the night sky. So my plan tonight is to shoot the Milky Way core as it's rising very early in the morning. So it's now the end, or approaching the end of January. And here in Australia, in the southern part of Australia, at this time of year, the Milky Way core comes up in that southeastern sky, I don't know, it's probably about 4 o'clock in the morning or thereabouts. So I'm going to be here. I'm going to be here to capture it. And I'm going to try a few things tonight. So one of the things I want to try is using different focal length lenses to shoot that Milky Way. So I've got with me the Nikon 50mm f1.8 Z series, so Z mount lens for my Z6. I'm looking forward to using that. Not so much doing a test. I don't really do camera reviews and things like that, but I'm going to test it out under the stars here because I haven't had the opportunity to do that yet. I've also got a couple of other focal length lenses. I've got my 14mm, I've got my 20mm, I've also got my 35mm lens, so I'll probably use most of those tonight. I've got plenty of time. I might shoot all sorts of things. Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be absolutely awesome. Okay, now it's going to be a little bit difficult. I'm hoping you can hear me properly because, as I said, it's really, really windy. But what I want to do is take you through some of the compositions that I've got in mind to shoot. Now, obviously, the thing that stands out here, obviously, is this tree. Now, it's behind me there. I've already showed you the tree. But it is a beautiful looking specimen. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how that comes up, particularly with that 50mm lens. I think that is going to be absolutely fantastic. Now that's facing in a southeasterly direction, which is perfect for the rising Milky Way core here early in the Milky Way season. So apart from that, there's some gorgeous rocks. Let's get down and have a look. Now I particularly want to show you this beautiful rock formation here. I really like the look of it. That's obviously facing towards the west because the sun is setting there. But I reckon I could get something shooting towards the south. And let's just come down here a little bit. I might even have a go at shooting some star trails down this direction because that's south, due south down that way. So I can cut off the edge of these rocks and actually get the water in the shot. So you can see these rocks here behind me now, and they're quite a large outcrop. So I'm on a point here of the lake. So the water wraps around a little bit down on both sides. And that gives me a fair bit to work with, I think. But as I said, facing down towards the south, I'll get some star trails. I can see a farmhouse up on top of that hill down there, which, later on tonight there'll probably be some lights, but apart from that, there's nothing else around here. There's a few fishermen down there, but they'll probably go later on before it gets too late. Fantastic. Looks absolutely awesome. Now, I've already showed you this tree behind me, which is great, but just have a look around here. There's another one. So I've actually got two trees to play with here tonight. That one's a bit closer to the water's edge, and that'll make it a bit more difficult to compose the shot. But that's okay. I don't mind using a wide angle lens for that one, just with the wind being so intense. I think I might take some shelter in the car, grab something to eat, wait a little bit. It's probably a couple of hours before sunset, to be honest. So I've got heaps of time. I might do a bit of playing around with some of the equipment, just making sure everything's good. Give myself plenty of time to prepare myself, work out the angles, and just rest up and look forward to it. So I'll catch up with you guys just a little bit later on. Well, I finally got out here. I was delayed in my beginning of this Nightscape adventure tonight because those fishermen that I mentioned earlier came right over to this spot. And you know what time they left? 12:17 a.m. So I had to wait. There was 3 or 4 of them. I had to wait till they were finished doing what they were doing. So it's a good test of patience. Now I'm here all night. So I just had to take a number of deep breaths and have a bit of a snack, and all those sorts of things. But anyway, I've started shooting. Now, what I've done is the Southern Cross is up here behind this tree. And so I've shot it with 3 different lens combinations, a 20mm f1.8, 35mm f1.4, and this 50mm f1.8. Now, this is the new Z mount, so the 50mm f1.8S. I really like the look of this lens so far. And the other thing I did, I went down to the water's edge there because I couldn't get anywhere near the water. I had fishing lines everywhere down there and lights, torches, you name it. And I shot a number of images down there with the 20mm f1.8 and the Z6 stacking for noise reduction. Also, a bit of a wander down there. There's a fence line going into the water, so I shot that as well with the 20mm. So I think they'll all come up really well, but I shot these 3 here, these 3 different lenses, shooting panoramas with these 3, and I want to compare them and just see what the difference is. Now, I realise that the lighting will be different in each shot because I lit every shot individually with my torch. A lot of people ask me about how I light these images for panos. Well, what I try and do is get the lighting as even as possible through each shot. Now remember, I never light from the camera angle, never. I always get off on either the left hand or the right hand side, do some cross lighting. So that's exactly what I did on this tree in the background, and I reckon they will look pretty good. Now this is interesting. This is a panorama I shot with the 50mm lens, and you can see here, hopefully you can, let me just zoom in a little bit on this. Look at these satellites. That's that Musk fellow. I think he's ruining the night sky. Have a look at that. It's so obvious. It's just this great line of satellites going through my shots, and it's on about 3 or 4 of them. Oh dear, I don't know what I'm going to do about that, but there's probably not much we can do. Anyway, as you can see there, I shot a heap of shots here. Once again, I actually lost count. And this is a massive panorama of about 4 rows. And you can see the tree there. This is shot with the 50mm f1.8 Z mount lens. And I'm so looking forward to seeing just how that lens performs. This is at f2.8, ISO 6400, 6-second shutter speed. Wow, really, really nice. Okay, now my next plan is to shoot star trails. So I'm going to set up my Nikon D750 with the 14-24 f2.8 lens. I'm hoping to get a bit of a nap whilst these star trails are shooting. It's now about 2 o'clock. I need to be up by about 3:30 to get ready for that core coming up over there. No rest for the wicked tonight, is there? But anyway, what I might do is I'll shoot this one here across the rocks and the water, and I might set up another one with the Z6 and the 20mm f1.8 with that tree, because I love that tree. It is just a beautiful looking structure. So anyway, that's my plan. Got my intervalometer here all set up, ready to go. So let's get into it. Well, there you go, and you can see there in the background, the sun is not too far away from rising, the dawn of a new day. It's actually pretty chilly. I just looked at my phone, it said it was 8 degrees here. But what a great night I've had here at the lake all by myself. Well, albeit for 3 or 4 fishermen who spent 3 or 4 hours with me earlier on. It sort of brings a new meaning to the old saying, a fisherman's friend, doesn't it? But anyway, I'll get over it. So I think I might just have a little bit more of a lay down. I'm really tired. And then I'll put the kettle on, have a cup of tea, and I might just enjoy the sunrise. Enjoy being here. You can't beat it. The great outdoors. One of the things that I love so much about Nightscape shooting is actually just getting out and being out here. I love the solitude. I love the embrace the landscape. Love nature. You just can't beat it. Anyway, I'm going to have a cuppa and just a bit of a lay down. I'll catch up with you just a little bit later on. Oh well, we find ourselves out again, pouring a cup of tea on a gorgeous location. Tell you what, where else would you want to be? Now, one of the things that I particularly enjoyed about this location was the fact that there's pretty much sweeping views all the way around in every direction. Now tonight I was shooting primarily facing south and facing east, because that's where the stars are that I wanted to capture. But later on in the season, the Milky Way core comes down in the western sky here, where I live in Australia, and I think it would be an absolutely gorgeous composition across this lake. So I'll be back, and I can still get the trees, I can get the rocks, and probably more of the water, so that's going to be something a little bit different. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me once again. I really do appreciate the fact that you come on these journeys with me, and I always read the feedback in the comments section down below, and as much as I can I get back to everybody. So please leave a comment down below, and you know, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, if you like this type of content, then I'd be really delighted to have you on board. So anyway, I'm just going to enjoy this cup of tea, and I'll see you guys next time out under the stars somewhere. See you then.